Hello, this is Mrs. Mindy, and I'm going to show you how to make a graph in Google Sheets. Okay, so imagine here's your data, pretend, and it's all in the little cells, and it's ready to go. So it's pretty easy, but there's some different things that you can change. Okay, so here is your independent variable, and that should be all the way to the left. And then your dependent variables can be to the right. So the thing that you set up, that's in your first column, or the first column that you're selecting. And then you can just select all your data like that, and then click. I'm zoomed in to be big, so I'd get these three dots to look for the graph button. See that insert chart, and it looks like a tiny little bar graph. So it may be along the front. I made this bigger so you guys could see. So I'm just going to click that, and there it goes. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Now I'm going to zoom out a little. There. Okay, so that you can see more than one thing at once. So there's some things that are, move there. So I'm just clicking and dragging that to move it around. So there are some things that are wrong with this that you would have to fix. Okay, the first one is that the title is crazy. Okay, that's because I had multiple dependent variables, which is fine, but it doesn't know what to call it. So don't leave your title like this, because this doesn't make any sense. Okay, so your title can be just something that sort of summarizes the pattern in the data, or it's also nice if you think about the question that this graph answers. That makes a good title too. So for example, this is about paper airplanes and like which one went the furthest. So I'm going to double click on here to edit this. Nope, nope, nope. I've got my weird thing on here. Well, okay, so this comes up. Where's my cursor? Well, I'm going to do it over here. So in this chart editor that pops up when you double click on the graph, or if you click on the graph and you see these like three dots, you click on that and go to edit chart. And then this whole menu of stuff comes up. So I'm going to go to customize. Setup is for a different time, but customize. And if I want chart and axis titles, here's the chart title. So, and here's this crazy title. So I'm just going to take all this and delete this, delete, delete, delete. Okay. And see, it deleted it in the graph too, over here. So I'm going to call this, the question that this graph answers is what paper makes airplanes fly farthest? Farthest. Okay, because that's the question that I really care about. All right, and then down here, over here in the menu, you can change the font, you can change the font size. It's in auto, but if you want it to be bigger, because when you print this, that's pretty small, you can just click an auto and you can make it like 18. You can make it whatever you want, whatever you look and see. I think that looks pretty good. You can change the color. Like right now, it's kind of a gray. I can make it be black. I like black because black is sharper. You can make it be bold. Okay, and if it's not big enough, you can make it be bigger, whatever you want. I'll put it back to 24. Okay, now for other things on here. So usually in general on the graph, if you double click on it, you can change that thing. So if like airplane paper type, I'm fine with that. But see how that popped up? But if I wanted to make that bigger, which I kind of do, I'll make that black. See the title text color, and I'll make it, change it from title font size. You can see this is horizontal axis title. So if you click on that, I can go back to the whole title. See, there's the new title. I can put this horizontal, so that's the x-axis. And I'm going to make this bigger, make it like 18. There, that's a little easier to see. And if I wanted to click on these guys too, and I wanted those to be bigger, see if I double clicked it, see it's got a highlight in blue, and then I go over to this menu, and it'll it'll have pulled up what you selected. So I'll go from auto to like, I don't know, 16. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now something that is missing on here that is a problem is that there's no label on the y-axis. Okay, so that's the distance I can see from here, but it doesn't say what the unit is and it doesn't have a label, so that's bad. So, and since there's nothing to click on there, it's not going to tell you. There's not like a spot there. So I'm going to go to customize, and this is to get the y-axis, which is sometimes not there. So I'm going to go to chart and axis titles, not horizontal axis titles, but see this caret? I'm going to go down, and it's going to be vertical axis, because vertical axis is up and down. And see, there's nothing written here. So I'm going to call it, what is that? That is how far the plane went. And I'm going to put the unit on there because you have to have a unit if there's a numerical value. Okay. And since I know from looking up here at the data that that's feet, I'm going to put feet. Because it makes a big difference, right? What the unit is. If it was, inches, that's going to mean something different. If it were centimeters, that's going to mean something different. Okay. So again, if I click on here, now I can go and I can say, oh, I want it to be black. I want it to be, whatever you do, you can put it whatever color you want, but whatever you do, make sure that it's readable. Don't do something like this because that just makes it harder to read. So don't do that. Okay. So make it something with high contrast. So like black is always good. Or you can make it like dark blue or red if you really wanted to, but black is very readable. Okay, so now this graph now has a title that makes sense. It has a title on the x-axis telling you what the x-axis is. It has a title on the y-axis telling you what the y-axis is. And you can have it be, I'm not going to grade you on the size, but it's certainly easier to read. And I'll just make that bigger. There, like that. It's got the unit on here. So these are things I'm all going to grade you on. And it is the right kind of graph because if this is, you can use a bar graph if you're doing category data. Okay, and here they are because it's construction paper, printing paper, notebook paper. And those are categories. There's not like a number value that goes with those. Okay, so that's how you would do that. Simple example.